Okay, welcome back. Our guest this morning, Ayodele Adewale, APC State Organizing Secretary in Lagos State, and Kabir Akingbolu, lawyer and political affairs analyst, comrade and barrister, respectively, for those two gentlemen. So what we're doing here is we're looking at this report that some have even criticized. What exactly, did you hear me say "Kwe" there? That just slipped in. I'm so sorry. So what exactly is it supposed to achieve apart? One doesn't want to ridicule the U.S., perish the thought. But somebody was pointing out that they have their issues. Look at, we're 10 months into this administration. You're bringing out a report last week. And as Kabir said, what this is supposed to achieve, apart from indicating to us that, well, they have this department, they have this Department of State where they will share their opinion willy-nilly. It was published by the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, U.S. Department of State. Nigeria was one of the countries in their catchment, and they decided to favor the world with this report. But what exactly? Because I don't know, when we also send our own independent observers to elections around the world, I don't know the extent to which we also prepare these reports and now spread around the world that, after all, our President Jonathan goes, President Obasanjo, he goes to those kind of things. I don't know. I'm also at a loss to understand what was the intention of the U.S. with this report. It's one of the reasons why I particularly like the APC ruling party response that, thanks, but, doesn't mean very much. We've moved on from there.
Well, like I said earlier, that is is a cycle report. And quite frankly, it's coming very, very late. You can't stop them from bringing out their report, especially when they have come to observe within your corridors and all of that. But again, I would have said everybody just overlook it. But again, for the purpose of history, there must be a response.
Yeah.
And that response has been put, quite frankly,
the word you used, you said overlook. Well, I don't know, because APC didn't overlook it.
That was what I said, yes. Ordinarily.
Okay.
Ordinarily.
APC didn't overlook it.
Sir, I said ordinarily. One should just overlook it because it has no meaning in our space. But for the purpose of history, if you don't react to it, it can be taken as what actually happened within your space. So the reaction of the APC to it had put it in check. Okay. Right? And the reaction of Nigeria to it has put it in check. So you endorse? That is not to say that whenever observers come to report, I think we should go further as part of our own prerequisite to allow observers to come in, is that whatever you observe, within this time limit, we expect that your report should be put to the public domain, or you submit your report to us so that we can study
Almighty America is going to say that you can't give us conditions.
It
is we
like
that
I said,
conditions.
Nigeria is a sovereign state.
Exactly.
So if you are going to come in to monitor our election,
it's like
you must sign.
Yes.
You must sign.
Yeah, I hear you.
Conform with our regulations.
Indeed. Edmund in Enugu. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Please go ahead. You're on air now.
Yeah, I'm on air.
Yes, you are.
Okay. I want to participate in the ongoing discussion.
Sure, we'd like you to. Go right ahead, please.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Are you with me? Okay. So I don't know why we are celebrating the report from United States of America.
We're not celebrating it. We're just covering it.
That is part of the problem that we have in this country. It's part of that African or black man's mentality that everything foreign will be celebrated. So what am I saying in effect? We have processes. Elections came and gone, and the winners were pronounced. Why do we need revalidation from America? Our Supreme Court has finally nailed and decided on who won the election. Why are we celebrating American report or any other report, European or whatever. So we should have confidence in ourselves. It's about time we stopped giving credence to all these foreign observers. It's with an avenue of making mockery of us. They're not observing anything. We have how many states? How many police stations do we have in this country? How many of them did they go to? That we are now celebrating that America report that the election reflected the wishes of Nigeria. We knew that. The Supreme Court said that. Why do we need America again?
All right.
This is part of what Bob Marley said, that Africans should liberate themselves from colonial mentality. We are still suffering from that colonial mentality. And until we liberate ourselves from that, look at America, we are copying.
All right.
Look at America, we are copying. Under Donald Trump. What is happening? How many foreigners went to America to oversee how Donald Trump's election was conducted? So please, let's have confidence in ourselves. Let's believe in ourselves.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in, Edmund. Appreciate your call. Appreciate it. We got all that you had said. But just to point out that perhaps celebrating isn't the word. I could understand, as some other people have said, why are you even bringing this up? Just as of duty, reporting. It happened. The report came. It came late. It came, 10 months in on the administration that they're commenting upon. And so we are looking at it, and also to report the reactions that it has met. The ruling party that is concerned most directly has said that it doesn't mean very much because they do not seek or require validation, just very much as you have said, Edmund, from external sources. So celebrating perhaps might not be the word. We're not celebrating it, but we are taking note of it, that it has happened. Okay, now coming over to you, Kabir, on that, you can see that a lot of people that have called in, perhaps a lot is overstating it, but the people that have called in, have continued with this impression that why are you even TVC this morning? Why are you even bringing this one up? Well, perhaps there's a professional duty to bring it up. All the media, all the newspapers covered it because it was, a newsworthy event. Even that America was putting out this report and it was putting it out late and that it seemed to be contradictory. All of those, news items for us to talk about. We heard what they said. Is there any merit in any particular merit in what was said? Well, again, depends on who is examining. As I pointed out, the opposition did say that they did complain. Even though the report was as it was, Mr. George had pointed out, our very first caller, that it seemed to be self-contradictory. But still, we have to report. What do you think about this particular aspect of why are you even talking about this? Why don't you just leave America and their problems?
No, that I don't agree with that school of thought. You know why? TVC is an institution that is saddled with the responsibility of informing the people. In fact, it will be a dereliction of duty for a failure on the part of TVC for not hearing it. They are supposed to bring it out just as every other, news media would be expected to do. And rather than, condemn that, we must commend the TVC for doing that. Not on the side of anybody. After all, the net is thrown open for anybody to fish. What is your opinion? What's your opinion? Not that anybody is God. So BBC is doing a good job about that, just like the newspapers have reported it.
Every news media reported it as of duty. Okay. Reverend Dominic.
So,
exactly. Sorry, sir.
The same thing TVC have done.
Yes, exactly. Reverend Dominic, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori. Good morning to comrades in the studio. Good morning to the lawyers over there.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yori, honestly, I've asked myself this question, and maybe Nigeria will hear my voice. What is the meaning of these foreign observers in our elections? Why? Your other question. Even though this report, I have my reservations. You know me now. But why the report now? Again, we bring observers here, and we have heard the story of Emefiele and how he played observers. And we don't use the reports, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. Why do we bring them here? We're no more colonized by anybody. This is an independent nation, the most populous black nation all over the world, the most powerful office in the world. Why do we bring observers here to tell us what to do? And when they say it, we don't take it. Or they don't say anything, we don't take it. Why do you bring observers in our elections? Because they are useless. Look at this report. I call this report useless. I call it inciting. We have licked our wound. Things that happen here, elections have come and gone. Supreme Court has spoken. Everybody is trying to build Nigeria we're looking forward to. Why do these people bring this report at this time? America is part of the trouble of Africa. But they should leave us alone. We have had enough from Boko Haram and bandits. Some of them are sorry to say, are sponsoring that or not anyway. Why is this report this time? What they want us to use it to do? We must stop foreign observers in our elections. We're independent here. We are strong here. We are intellectual here. We can have local observers. But this international observer that come to mock us every time, if it's good, it's not good. If it's bad, it's not. What do America want from Nigeria?
Okay, Reverend Dominic, thank you very much for calling in. Let me let you in on that, Kabir. Well, Nigeria is a member of the Committee of Nations, and I suppose it is a sort of a protocol. There are those who are fuming, what is all of this? And I just pointed out that even we are invited, and other countries, to be observers elsewhere. I suppose it's a sort of protocol, a sort of courtesy, that's such an important thing. Come from your country to come and see us at work. You also invite us to, come to your country. But you probably can understand, the way people are feeling because of this, as somebody pointed out, I think it was George, the first caller, this colonial mentality of taking too importantly things that people say from far off and beginning to add more value than they would personally allocate to such contributions. But we are part of society. We're part of the Committee of Nations. Do you agree that why are they coming? Why are we even letting them in? Why are we even participating in all of that?
Well, I want to think, or I believe strongly, that it's just a normal ritual because it's not binding on any nation.
An international
Every
sort
nation
of protocol.
Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Yeah, it's a protocol. So we have our own ways of doing things, including our election and all that. Like in America, they have their own peculiar, democracy. We have our own. Like in America, Mrs. Clinton beat Donald Trump with over 3 million votes. And he didn't win because he didn't pass the electoral college. So that won't be acceptable in Nigeria. If Nigeria was to write a report, we would write differently. So every report is dependent on what the culture or the political culture or socialization of the people, political socialization of the people will be. Like going to other countries does not mean the report will be binding. And there's a dangerous thing about this. For supposing now, thank God the majority of Nigerians don't respect this report. But assuming we not take it to clients because since America has spoken about the election, it is free and fair. The day they will write another one that will be against us, we will not be able to escape from it because we are justified it in the past. So it is better now we say it in the language that matters. That way we don't trespass such. It's not binding on us, so that in the future you should know that we have a way of doing our own things. We'll keep to the rules, and whatever you feel belongs to you and is exclusive to you. We have our own way.
Indeed. Thank you. So probably the ruling party's response, I think, is a classic one. We've noted it, but we've moved on since then. And besides, we don't really need external validation for what has happened here. And that we know among ourselves and our own processes reflects the generality of opinion of most voters. Mazi Okoroa for Inaro Chuku, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guests. See, when we talk about the election, I start up with the Nigerian and the American issue. You see, look at American issue election that happened. at least there's what they call a Trump boys. That Trump boys, when they discovered that the election was being marred by the discrepancies, what happened? I think that the people that went to the electoral house, at least the government and the state house, they are facing problem. At the end of the day, the Trump is having that case presently. Now, in the Nigeria case, the Nigeria is over now, the election tribunal, everything. But look at America. The issue of Trump is still lingering, seriously. They brought about the issue of boys, they brought about the issue of tax, they brought about that. At the end of the day, what is happening? Now, it's still the authority there. Nigeria and the U.S. election is so they are different. They are just opposite direction. Americans already, the Republicans, they have already made up their mind. You saw all those, even that one of the women that are contesting with Trump. The statement he made that day, when the people at the president, they refused to vote for her, the whole thing went to Trump. The way, how furious human left the stage. So at the end of the day, we went back to Trump, that Trump is coming back. Now, if you look at the American election and the Trump election and the Democrats and Nigeria, you see that America, their own aspect of perceiving election or receiving people is different from Nigerian aspect of it. Nigerian theory is based on sectionalism, tribalism, religion. But in America, it doesn't based like that. America, they have made up their mind, those Republicans, those people that they want Trump. Because if Trump, let me give everybody to listen very well. If Trump were to be in office, let me tell you, the war between Russia and Ukraine will not happen. That's number one. The problem between Israel and Gaza will not happen because Trump, he has that charisma, that spirit. That's what, because when they talk about leadership, people don't understand what they talk about leadership. Look, there are first qualities you have as a human being.
Mazi, thank you very much, sir. Because of time, but the one thing that I agree with you, the most important thing is that we and America, or for that matter, any other country, we don't necessarily see the world through the same prism or through the same lenses. America is America. Nigeria is Nigeria. And so that's why I keep on going back to the, masterly, I think, response of APC. We've noted, but it doesn't really mean very much to us because we don't need it. But it is noted. It's like saying, thank you very much for your efforts. Maybe closing thoughts, comrade, on this kind of matter. Maybe you also would like to weigh in on those that are, a bit vexed. I won't say angry, but those that are vexed that, why are you even talking about this? Surely we have to talk about it. Every news media, self-respecting news media, did report it when it was put out by the U.S. Department of State. In closing.
Well, in closing, what I would say is that we should not be driven by emotions. But again, we should be propelled by factual contemporary realities. And INEC did say some months back, especially to local observers, that they should submit their reports on time. And that was why I said there should be timeline for submission of reports. If you are coming to any environment, any space or country, as you want to call it, you must be able to conform with their rules. Processes. There should be rules.
Yes.
That is not to say that reports are not important. If you look at the 1979 elections, the report that came out suggested that Chief Obafemi Awolowo won the elections. But when they went to court, it was two-thirds majority, right? So if you look at by the numbers of votes, Awolowo did win the elections. If you look at 1993, the report that came out suggested that Chief M.K. Abiola won the elections. Those reports were what the civil society held on to, as I continue with their clamor. And many years after, even after MKO died, President Buhari came to affirm that MKO Abiola won the election. So reports are very important. But again, people should not hide in perspective and in the true situation of what had happened.
Thank you very much. Barrister Kabiru Akingbolu.
Yes, very well. Yes.
I'd like, just closing words, just about 15 seconds.
I know. As a passing, shot, I think the election has come and gone. The only thing, and thank God the chieftain of the APC is there. What Nigerians expect is good governance They want things to be okay. They want good welfare, economic rebound. But that's what people want now, not this destructive report.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the brevity of that. Kabiru Kingulu, lawyer and political affairs analyst, thank you very much. Same, Comrade Ayodele Adewale, APC State Organizing Secretary, Lagos State. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me
as well.